Deputy Leader of the Opposition United Workers' Party, Guy Joseph, continues to step up attacks on Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre. During the UWP's latest public meeting, which was live-streamed on the internet, Joseph slammed the incumbent's response to the Range Rover matter and CIP-related issues. He also questioned the Prime Minister's mental acuity, using a term considered a pejorative to describe someone with a mental disability.
Now, it is not Pierre that is stupid, you know. It is how stupid Pierre thinks the rest of us are in this country. That is why he says this stupidity, and he knows he will get away with it. So this is not an indictment on Philip J. Pierre. This is an indictment on us, the people of St. Lucia, to have a retarded like this as a prime minister of a country. Now, you know, there are times I want to go easy. There are times I ask myself, is it worth the fight? But you know what? It is worth the fight.
Joseph, who lambasted the public policy record of the Pierre administration, excoriated the current executive on a host of domestic issues. In his critique of crime management, he took an unexpected swipe at women's rights advocate Catherine Seeley's and the current Commissioner of Police. Seeley's last week survived a harrowing carjacking incident. An armed robber, hidden in the back seat, attempted to strangle her before stealing the vehicle. He later died after a confrontation with police officers at a traffic checkpoint. Joseph criticized the top cop for a courtesy call on the crime victim, who happens to be a friend and former colleague.
So one lady affiliated to the Labour Party her home was robbed, and the Commissioner of Police reached at her home. Did you hear me? So hot come le hot kuye police Commissioner Kavin Bokai hot. Now I'm not talking about a minister, you know. I'm just talking about a mouthpiece for the Labour Party who was robbed, and it's unfortunate. But why would the commissioner report that directly while there are so many young St. Lucians being gunned down on our streets as if they are animals, and we don't see the commissioner present? So lana kopani mun kipli mun pase lot.
The former government minister drew parallels between the administration's policies and the cost of living crisis, again scoffed at the Prime Minister's strategic framing of St. Lucia and European security, while making references to the public's unrest in Martinique over inflationary pressures.
You know what the friend said? They don't care where the cheese comes from to reach in Martinique. It can come from France. Let France pay the boat to bring it to St. Lucia. It's supposed to be the same price in Martinique and the same price in France, because we are all French people. That's what. Now, Sir Philip J. Pierre didn't know part of Europe. Huh? Did he say we were part of Europe? Because Martinique is next door. So I hope we take a page from Martinique and understand what we need to do so the country, the government can understand.
The former parliamentary representative for Castries Southeast seemed to hold the public accountable, invoking biblical rhetoric to further demonize the current government leader as he rallied the United Workers' Party base.
God told Israel, I don't want you to have a king. Let God be your king. They said, no, we want a king because all those around us have kings. He said, this king will overtax you, will enslave your people. They said, we still want a king. God said, okay, you want a king? Have it. So, I know people say, God appoints governments. God permits governments to be elected. But bon Dieu pas me pièce non mauvais comme Philip J. Pierre in charge of Ishley. Nobody, I'm a Bible student, and nobody can convince me that God puts wicked people in charge of his people, except his people have done wickedness and they have to suffer the consequences.
Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre has repeatedly declined to respond to previous attacks, but has called for a rebuke of what he views as vitriolic, divisive rhetoric in the body politic and the cynical view of the island nation. Joachim Duplessis, HTS News Force.